The international legal implications of military action are complex and often fiercely debated. Let's turn our attention now to the question, is there any legal justification for the U.S. attack on Venezuela? For more on this very critical issue, we are joined by Professor Elvira Domínguez-Redondo, an expert in international law from Kingston University. Prof, thank you so much for your time and for joining us this morning. So maybe let's just talk about, based on your expertise, do you believe there's any legal justification under international law for the U.S. military operation in Venezuela?
The totally short answer is no. There is no justification. This is not only a direct attack on the United Nations Charter. It's on basic principles of customary law that have been agreed after the Second World War to ban completely the use of armed force as a manner of achieving your own political interest or economic interest. This was settled in 1945. It was clearly settled that the way to stop a global conflict repeating itself again was to establish a very strong prohibition of the use of armed force with very narrow exceptions, one of them being the use of self-defense, which does not fit in this occasion.
And I mean, you speak about self-defense and the crime of aggression. This attack has been described as a crime of aggression. Maybe elaborate on the legal definition of this crime and its implications under international law.
Well, from the easy way of understanding aggression is this kind of illegal use of armed force against another sovereign attack. That's it. That's the easy explanation. It is a special crime because it involves not only the responsibility of the state itself, that will be on here the United States of America, but also the responsibility of the individuals who order those attacks, which here will be President Donald Trump and those who have made this decision with him.
You mentioned earlier that this could have political as well as economic interest, and we know that Venezuela has got natural gas reserves that are estimated at around 200 trillion cubic feet. Do you think that there's more to this invasion than what is let out?
I am actually not sure. I mean, I don't want to speculate, but I think Donald Trump himself has said he will take over the oil in very vague terms, in the same way he spoke about running Venezuela. But we don't know exactly what he means by this. And I have seen some reports about already companies visiting Venezuela in March. And I don't know how well planned this has been. I cannot speculate if this is the main objective, if the political gains expected from this are the main objective. What we know is what President Trump has told us himself, mixing every possible justification under the sun, none of them valid for this attack. The justifications have been he's fighting a war on drugs. To do this, he has labeled drug organizations as terrorist organizations and extended that interpretation in a way that he can attack terrorists as if they were legitimate military targets, which he cannot. He has said now that he will run the oil industry. There are also minerals in Venezuela. And he has said he will run Venezuela itself. So it's very unclear what the specific objectives are, apart from what he's saying. But what he's saying, everything is there, the political, the economic, everything.
All right, Prof, thank you so much for your time. It certainly is going to be one to look out for, especially for that UN Security Council emergency meeting that should be held today. And if many of those permanent members veto some of those decisions, it's going to be one really to take a look at. Thank you so much for your time. That was Professor Elvira Domínguez-Redondo from the University of Kingston.